Hi there, my name is Elena and today I want to talk about art in general, how to start to draw, how to continue, how to do in your own way, how not to afraid to start. And I want to share you my tips, like lifestyle tips that I'm using every day when I need to start or when I'm lazy or when I just started years ago. So the first one is to try to save all pictures that inspires you. It could be anything. It could be a pattern from museum. It could be a door, yeah, like you taking photo of a door you like with a I don't know pattern on it, or if you're on a flower market and you just found interesting flowers, or if you're at home and some interesting light came to your apartment, and then you can sit and to recreate this picture. You don't need to think about, oh, what I need to draw today. No, you just open your phone and you have a lot of random pictures and you just can start to sketch from it. And for example, I can show you some process from Pinterest. For example, in Pinterest we can find other photos that we can draw. For example, here I really love the shadow here, so you can draw it in flat and here as well, so it's really interesting. It will be interesting to draw it in gouache, for example. I love flowers, I love landscapes, that's why I really admire to draw something abstract. And here also you can sketch some objects, then draw the background here, then add some flowers with another color here and create this line. So it's really easy to sketch, really easy to draw when you have it like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and you will always have an inspiration in your phone. And sometimes even I don't save it to Pinterest like in a folder, but I just do a screenshot, because when you're in train or if you're somewhere when you don't have an internet or you forget to, I don't know, something, you just can go to your photos in your phone and see the screenshot and start to draw from it. I really love to not like when we have a lot of details, it's really hard when you're, especially when you're starting, it's really hard to separate objects. But for example, here we can get three colors like yellow, blue and some pink or red, and we can choose only three colors to draw with, like for example dark red, gray, and for example blue. I don't have a dark blue, but we can use any colors, and then I can start to draw this one with blue, like that one with gray color, and draw, instead of lemons I can draw an apples, for example. And we will limit our color palette, we will limit our tools. We don't need all range of colors to sketch or to draw something, or even we can go to do it with a basic pen, so we can draw it like shadows in a dark tone, and here is this lines also in a dark tone in your own way. So it's really nice to practice. Here also, yeah, we have like abstract flowers and two objects on it, so it's really easy to start because you have something like in front of your eyes, right? And you don't need to go out, you don't need find some specific scenery. When you have just mood, you just sit in and draw in from random stuff from Pinterest. And yeah, on Pinterest, we can find a lot of interesting photos, a lot of interesting other arts. If you want to try some other techniques, it's here is also, yes, like straight lines. We can recreate it easily, and it doesn't mean, and it's not necessary to recreate it accurate. It doesn't, we don't want to recreate photo, right? We just want to get the object and draw this object for our practice. So yeah, on Pinterest you can find a lot of interesting picture, and not all pictures are inspiring, right? Some people like dark, some people like colorful, some people like minimalistic something. And for example, that picture is not inspiring me to draw, but for example, that one is really inspiring because I see that I can draw this was with like this color, for example, or with my markers. Yeah, I can recreate it easily. So sometimes for me inspiring when I see the process, when I see how I can do it. But if you don't have it in mind, you can just get random objects and just draw it and practice, and it will help you not to overthink again, and it will help you not to struggle with what do you need to draw when you just have time and just sitting, just open your phone and draw random picture you have in your phone. The second tip I want to share with you is about magazines. So for example, I have like the last one I just bought before Christmas. What I love about magazines is that you don't need to find photos or something on Pinterest because you need to laptop or you need your phone. If you're drawing from phone, this phone always become like turn it off every time, and that's why I love to draw from real physical magazines and books. And for example, in this magazine we can find a lot of nice scenery. For example, that seal I draw it with pencils, and we have a lot of nice pictures that we can draw or we can sketch. I just sketched that small tree. I like that it's in macro so I can see all details and draw it with two colors like dark brown and orange. So see a lot of inspirational ideas that we can combine. For example, we can draw or get colors from this picture, or we can see a combination of colors on this rabbit. So yeah, it helps me to get new ideas. And I just want to show you another picture that I drew. Yeah, that one. See, it's like a lot of landscapes. I'm a big fan of landscapes, and I love to draw it because it's kind of abstract, because when you're drawing animal or if you're drawing people, you need to be accurate in some way, in like anatomy or something. And if you're drawing something from landscapes, it's easier because you can do whatever you like on landscapes, and that picture also amazing. So the next my tip is obvious but not always obvious, is to follow other artists. It's really important to follow what it's really important not to follow artists for specific, I don't know, technique or specific style. It's really important to surround yourself with art, with different art. It could be like art from museums, like more classical one, or it can be sketches, or it can be some I don't know, like different artists in different mediums. And on Instagram I'm following a lot of nice artists that I admire, and every time I can find something new for myself, to be honest. And I love colorful pictures. I don't it's interesting, I don't draw in crazy colors, but I love when people are doing. So when we have like colorful palette, really inspires me to create. And sometimes you don't need to follow something specific that you want to recreate, right? Or not in your even style, but people are inspiring us. Like when you see that someone did something interesting, you just go in and doing something with your own way, right? It's not about copying. Because I feel like when we are following other artists, we are commenting, we are liking, we are supporting other artists. And it's really important within a community. And even if you are not saying that I'm an artist, yeah, I don't say I'm an artist because I'm just drawing occasionally and for my joy, for my free time. But I really love to support other artists as well. So following and liking, giving feedback is also about to be within communities. So yeah, I think it's really, really important to be surrounded with art, with people, with creators who inspiring you to do something in your own way. The next one is about watching YouTube. I really love YouTube, especially YouTube from artists, because it helps me to see behind the scene. It helps me to see how people are living, how what studio do they have, what they're working on. So it's also inspirational. And also, if you're just starting to draw and you want to gain some technique, gain some practice, on YouTube you can find a lot of nice tutorials that will help you to gain practice. For example, you can go to gouache and find a lot of nice videos for medium you like to start. And on YouTube also you can find a lot of interesting formats like lives, when you're drawing with someone, like someone showing you a picture and drawing it, and you can do the same. So you can draw the same picture in your own style. Nice place or nice option to hang out with other people without going out from your home. So yeah, watching YouTube is important, I could say. Even if you do draw occasionally, you can gain a lot of interesting ideas and interesting technique from YouTube, and also inspiration. It's all about inspiration. It's all about supporting community as well and meet other artists. The next one is to draw with simple tools. For example, if you have only just paper at home, or if you have just one pen, just draw with it. So for example, I have a sketchbook here, but even you don't need a sketchbook. Paper for printer will be enough. And I just have a small, random, without any specific cover sketchbook. And for example, I have a pencil. To draw with simple tools is really important to start and to understand that you love it, because it's not good option when you are going to art store buying a lot of art supplies and in 1 month you understand you don't like it at all. It's not you want to take your time, but you don't like it at all, right? So yeah, it's really important to start with what you have, just to draw what you see at home. For example, if you have some greens at home, or if you have some flowers, fresh flowers at home, you can just start to draw with it, and just to practice with it. You can take it with you when you're going out, or if you are sitting at home and just lazy to do something, you just can grab your pen and to start to do something. It's really important to start to do something, because we think that, oh, if I'm starting to draw, I need to study first, then I need fancy art supplies, and then I need teacher, and then I need to create from the first from a first sketchbook it should be a best sketchbook I ever had. No, it is not. You can do even kids stuff when we're drawing flowers, and it's enough for us. And even if you are do not have any specific topic, or if you don't have something interesting at home to draw from, you can again go to Pinterest, find any random interesting picture for sketches and start to draw for it. And it's really important to start with simple tools to understand what do you want to try. And if you're going to buy art supplies, for example, do not buy bundles, do not buy like collection. If you're buying pencils, do not buy all 120 pencils. Try with 5. Get like 5 colors that you like and try to do with it. I did it before. For example, I wanted to try pastel pencils, and they are quite expensive, so I went to art store. I just bought 3 of them, and when I tried them I figured out, oh, it's hard to do with them and you need like specific technique to use them, so I don't use them at all. Like sometimes I use it for pastel when I'm drawing with pastel and draw with pencil on it, but in general I'm not using them. So it's good tip, it's good habit to buy something simple, just 1-2 pencils or 1-2 colors from watercolor or from gouache, and to start to paint with it and to find your mediums that you like. For example, for myself, I really love to draw with just pencils, like pencils that I have colorful, that I can combine colors together. And sometimes I do something with gouache, but I honest with myself, and I feel like pencils is the most interesting medium for me. That's why I just bought new pencils for myself and really love it. I love mixed media when you are combining like gouache with pencils. But sometimes I'm really lazy to start to draw with gouache, because you need to prepare everything, you need water, you need wash everything, you need your palette just to start to do it properly. Then you need to wait to like when gouache will dry. So I feel like sometimes when I do it for 10 minutes, for 15 minutes, it's easier to do with color pencils. Also, a good tip that I use usually, it's to practice on a long road. When you're going somewhere in a train or in a plane, take your sketchbook or just some paper and some basic pencil with you, and to practice and to draw whatever you see or whatever you like. Maybe you have something saved on your phone, and you could practice on the road, and it will help you to cut time, yeah, because sometimes it's boring to sit like 1 hour in a train. And it also will give you practice every day. If you're commuting to work, for example, and you're sitting in a train for 1 hour, or like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and you don't understand that you have this time and you don't want to listen to podcasts or read something, it's really nice to draw, to take your stuff with you and to practice on a long road. And the last one, and I think the most interesting tip that I have, is like take your sketchbook or your like pencils with you to bed. When you're going to bed, or if you're spending time, if you don't feel well, or if you're just rest at home on sofa or in a bed, take your art things with you and practice in a bed, because it's also a big myth that we need a table, that we need sit down right in right position, we need all our supplies around us, and it should be like should looks like we are starting to create. But sometimes, for me personally, sometimes I just want to sketch. I just want to sketch random stuff, and if I didn't do it for a long time, I really miss it. But sometimes I don't have a time to sit it and to draw properly, to use gouache, to change water. That's why sometimes I'm taking my sketchbook to bed and just draw it from any random pictures that I have in my phone, and it helps me to not to overthink. I always tell about it in my videos on YouTube, in courses about photography, about drawing as well, not to overthink, not to think a lot about what you are doing. Just start to do, and just to get joy from what you are doing, from process, like when we're saying trust the process, and it's this way. And it's really important not to expect a lot from yourself, because when we are starting, we just doing some ugly stuff, we don't like it, and we think, oh, it's not my thing. Yeah, but you're not going to be a professional artist, right? You're doing it for yourself, and you can gain knowledge and practice to do it for yourself, for sketching just every day with ugly something. Maybe it will be your style when you will be confident with your ugly drawings, right? And it's really, really important not to have over expectations, because I feel it as well. So I have it as well. When I started to draw something else, oh, it's not beautiful, I don't like it, other artists doing better. On Instagram I have a lot of savings, and they are the best, the best, the best. I can never recreate it, or I never do it, something like that. But then I realized art is not about how to do something right. Art is not about how to do something with rules, right? So it's how you feel, how you see, how you can combine colors, how you want to combine colors, how you want to show or express yourself with your drawings. And you don't need even to show it. I'm not showing like 90% of what I'm drawing, because I don't like it. I don't feel like it's good enough to show. But sometimes I force myself to take picture of just random stuff that I have in my sketchbook and to show it. And also other stories from other artists inspires me, because I'm following a lot of artists on YouTube and Instagram, and when they are doing a Q&A and they're telling about their journey, they're saying, oh, I just started to draw, started to be a full artist during the pandemic. It's like, what? It's like 3 years ago? It feels like they are full artists for 10 years, for 15 years, but it is not. They just started 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and some of them, like most of them, are started to paint or to draw and to sell their art, prints or some like stickers, and then they realize they have enough income to become a full-time artist. And it's this stories really inspires me to continue to do something again and again and again, to practice. And it's not about a technique, it's not about a the best, I don't know, academic drawing, right? It's not about a technique when we gain it from school. It's more about finding your way, finding your style, and be confident in this style when you can create and create and create in this style. And I feel like I have kinda of my style, but I really love to experiment with different formats, with different mediums. Maybe something new will be in my own style, to bring something interesting in my style. So yeah, here is my tips. Hopefully it was interesting and maybe some inspirational. Just My main point is to not to overthink, not to prepare a lot. You don't need to prepare to start to draw. You just need a piece of paper and just one pen. That's it. You don't need some fancy stuff. Just start with it, sketch a lot, like try landscape, try draw animals, try draw people. Even if you are bad in anatomy, if you do not know any rules in anatomy, it's totally fine. You can do it sketches in your own way, and it's hard to do, but try not to judge yourself. Try not to say that you're doing something right, bad, good. You're just doing, and art is about doing. I don't understand. It's hard to do because I'm that person that I'm judging myself all the time that I'm doing bad. When we are drawing for ourselves, it doesn't mean that we are going to be a full-time artist. It's always it's always important to remember because in world of side hustles, I feel like we always thinking about money first. Like we starting to do something and we starting to think how can I get an income from it. And yeah, I will film another video about it. I just have an idea about this topic because I feel a lot of pressure because of it. Like if you're you started to draw, you want to be a full-time painter. No, I just started to draw. I don't want to do something full time if I just started something. So yeah, you don't need to get that pressure from other people, and you don't need to get pressure on yourself as well. So yeah, hopefully it was interesting, inspiring, and just to start, just to gain paper, just to start to draw something random from your environment, from Pinterest or from your Instagram. And have fun, and see you next time. Thank you. Bye bye.